From Times Square to airports, banks, even our own newsroom, a tech outage caused disruptions for businesses around the world. Here is where things stand at this hour. It has been roughly 18 hours since the outage, and a lot of industries are still recovering. We know this was not a cyber attack, but a defect with a software update. The CEO of CrowdStrike, the cybersecurity company behind the glitch, says it's still working with impacted customers, and they say that a fix has been deployed for the issue. Some of the biggest impacts here locally were at our airports. Frustrated passengers at LaGuardia, Newark, and JFK were left waiting for hours from delays, even cancellations. CBS 2's Carolyn Gusoff is live now at LaGuardia tonight to kick off our team coverage. Carolyn.
Christine, this terminal is far less crowded than it was earlier because there were so many cancellations. Folks have just cleared out to hit the roads or to find hotels. All in all, LaGuardia Airport has seen 204 cancellations today and 430 flights delayed. And for hours today, it felt like it was back to the pre-computer age.
Follow the direction of the agents.
A computer update that dealt a blow to global travel is fraying nerves here at the Spirit Terminal of LaGuardia Airport.
All the flights have canceled right now, so now starts the hunt for the hotel.
Kiosks and digital boards went blank. Baggage carousels sat still as departing passengers got updates the old-fashioned way.
They're doing everything by paper, I hear, so they're writing everything out.
Do not look at the time. All right, all flights are delayed.
Wanda Hess's flight was canceled. She landed a rental car to drive 10 hours to Detroit.
It really is a shame on, how one website or one update can cripple a whole world.
Spirit took to social media saying the global outage is impacting reservations and flight operations, apologizing for the inconvenience. Lakeisha Moore was almost in tears.
And there's no refund because everything is down. We can't rebook.
It's like going back to the 70s, going to the system where you get a boarding pass handwritten and your luggage is handwritten, and I understand that nothing of that is in the process of the digital world. So of course you get delayed.
And the good news is you can see the digital boards are back up here, but if you look closely, you can see most of the flights were canceled or delayed, but later flights tonight look like they're still coming up as on time. So the airlines are telling folks if you do have a flight booked, check with your airline, check FlightAware to see the status of the flight before coming to the airport. Christine?
Carolyn, it was hard to hear some of those passengers talk. You could tell they were upset. One woman even mentioning she couldn't get a refund. But are you hearing any other airlines possibly offering refunds for those cancellations today?
It sort of depends on how you booked a flight, whether or not you're entitled to a refund. There is a law that airlines must offer a refund if there's a cancellation. But if you booked it not through the airline, like through an online booking site, it's a little tricky. So there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It's very frustrating. But at least some good news from airlines today that many of them are offering travel waivers, which means they're waiving the fees for rebooking.
All right, well, that certainly is a better option than nothing. Carolyn, thank you for that report. And if renting your car was your plan B after those flight issues, you might be out of luck, because all of those flight cancellations, rental companies ran out of cars as demand surged and passengers tried to make it to their destinations. We spoke with two women on a local summer basketball league heading to Louisville for a game tomorrow.
We have to take a $200 Uber to our friend's house and then all carpool to Kentucky, which is another 12-hour drive. I think it's gonna make us pretty tired, exhausted. We're gonna be stressed, but we're tough.
The rental car companies say their systems were not impacted by the outage. And our coverage continues now with CBS 2's Christine Sloan. She's live at Newark, where they also saw hundreds of delays and cancellations throughout the day. Christine, what's happening there now?
Well, Well, Christine, here at Newark Liberty International Airport, there have been 185 flight cancellations, and the day isn't over. We've also seen several hundred flight delays, and the lines have been long all day as officials try to deal with this global computer problem. Earlier in the day, the line stretching around Terminal B at the airport. Passengers couldn't print out their boarding passes because the kiosks weren't working, so ticket agents had to write out boarding passes, which passengers say took hours. Some passengers tell us they missed their flights to vacations. Others, like a mom and her two little kids, say their flight to Minnesota for an important family function was canceled.
My sister is actually doing her grand opening for her hair salon, so, you know, it's major.
Was excited, and I wanted to go see my little cousin. I miss him so much.
My luggage is in Fort Lauderdale, and they said it won't be here either tonight or tomorrow night.
We're just looking for a van to rent, and then we're just planning to go into Minneapolis there.
Randall Mendez's family choosing to drive to their destination 18 hours away. Some flights have resumed, but when continue to hear agents on speakers just give us a list of flights that have been canceled. So as Carolyn was also saying, make sure to check the status of your flight before coming to the airport. We're live at Newark Liberty International Airport. Christine Sloan, CBS 2 News.
We can all relate to those frustrations, Christine. Thank you. The city, meantime, emphasized this morning that they were well prepared for a crisis like this. CBS 2's Jennifer Bisram got a look inside the Cyber Command Center.
This is where the city cyber command monitors threats to the city 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they say while these outages were global and widespread, they were only minimal here in New York, and that is because the city was prepared.
We very quickly identified that there was an issue causing a global disruption.
A global technology outage affecting businesses and government services Friday.
And then immediate actions were taken to resolve and implement the fix that was provided by CrowdStrike.
Inside the New York City Cyber Command's watch floor and home of the Joint Operations Center in downtown Brooklyn, the city's chief information security officer says while the outages were felt here in New York City, they were minimal.
This is largely unprecedented, but we do have procedures and plans in place for emergency management and support of these types of issues.
Friday morning, the mayor and city leaders gathered at City Hall.
9/11's core systems have not been impacted. Our infrastructure and emergency operations, they're all in place.
Today is a good example of how some of the planning that we've done in advance helps protect the city and ensures continuity of our critical services.
Some workstation computers and servers may still be impacted, and apps and websites for some city services.
This isn't a cyber attack, right? But that doesn't mean our work stops.
And city officials say right now they are in recovery mode, and they emphasize this was not a cyber attack. In downtown Brooklyn, Jennifer Bisram, CBS 2 News.
It was a middle-of-the-night wake-up call for IT teams in Westchester County. CBS 2's Tony Aiello continues our team coverage from there.
On the second floor of the Westchester County office building, leftover donuts and bagels in a conference room where the IT team met at 2 a.m. to plan its response to the paralyzing CrowdStrike tech outage.
We came in, everyone had what they called the BS OD, which is your blue screen of death, is what it's called.
Westchester County says security software update glitches really not that uncommon. Usually the fix can be pushed out through the network. But the CrowdStrike issue required hands-on each and every affected computer, more than 2,000 used by county government employees.
Now we need to basically remove the file that was deployed by CrowdStrike. This is one of the easy ones. There's a lot of encrypted hard drives, and that's when we start running into problems.
We deployed a team from IT. Didn't matter what your title was. Today you were doing desktop support.
The process repeated across organizations large and small. The glitch shut down the New York State DMV, the White Plains office telling customers no transactions could be processed.
I have to come back, and my license was stolen, so I need a license to drive around, but there's nothing they can do, so they're just turning people away.
Credit card transactions were impacted at the Cheesecake Factory, computers at the UPS store running slow. The software that interconnects our world giving so many of us a hard time. Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
Banks also impacted by today's outage. Alerts like this one here taped in the window of the TD Bank at the corner of 57th and 3rd on the east side warned customers that systems were down. People are also reporting issues at Chase banks. Experts say even though many smaller companies and stores were not impacted by this, it should serve as a reminder to have business interruption insurance.
This is a huge wake-up call for businesses to reevaluate their IT plans. When was the last time you ran a drill that said, what if my entire staff couldn't get online today?
Starbucks was even impacted. The outage prevented customers from placing orders on its app. Do stay with CBS 2 News. We have been on top of this story since it happened overnight, and we'll bring you every update on air and online at cbsnewyork.com.